Hi, my name is Kitty Greenwald and this is Slow Food Fast. Today we're preparing a simple pasta recipe that comes to us from famed chef and restaurateur Alice Waters from Berkeley, California. It's a whole wheat pasta recipe that is tossed with a raw tomato vinaigrette. I have a pot of heavily salted water here that has just come to a boil, voila, which is exciting. When you salt your pasta water, you want to salt it to taste, and that means that it should taste like the ocean. We'll test it just before we put the pasta in, but I put in a pretty sizable handful of salt. And the ingredients called for here are pretty simple and standard. Basil, tomatoes, vinegar, olive oil, pasta. And it's a classic combination. So what we're doing is pounding the garlic into a paste. You want 2 fat, heavy cloves. So I'm gonna stir in 2½ teaspoons of red wine vinegar. And I've already halved my tomatoes. This is about 1½ pounds of mixed golden, yellow, and red cherry tomatoes. And I'm gonna just add the garlic, the vinegar, season it with a bit of salt, toss to combine, and to this I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of torn basil leaves. I'm going to eyeball it, but basically you want about a 1/4 cup of the leaves. Chop up the leaves and let that sit for about 15 minutes, and as that sits, the tomatoes will break down and release their juices. I'm going to test my pasta water, make sure that it's well salted. That's good. We're using whole wheat tagliatelle. You can use linguine or tagliatelle, but sort of a thick, long noodle. And I want it just a little firm in the center, but nothing more. This is a fairly simple dish with just the basic components, and it doesn't really need much else. You can serve it as is. If you want to gussy it up some, a nice topping that Alice recommended, and which works particularly well here, is using nice oily breadcrumbs. And for information on how to make breadcrumbs at home, which you can use as a pasta topping or put on a gratin or any number of other applications, click on the link below and I'll show you how to do it. Today, we are keeping it simple. We're good. Perfectly al dente. It's still a little too slim in the center before I dump it out. I'm setting aside some pasta water. If I need to stretch the sauce, that should be enough. On goes my vinaigrette. Delicious. Out goes the cooking stuff. Here goes. It's tossing. And just toss to coat. I'm going to stretch this a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of hot pasta water, and this will just create a bit of a gravy to coat the noodles. So, simple, straightforward tasting of summer. Light and refreshing. Enjoy it hot or cold. So, thank you, Alice Waters, for sharing a recipe that's not only delicious, but healthy.